Hi guys, Jared here with Day Traders FX. I hope you're having a great afternoon and a great day. It is time for the daily video update, and we've got some great things to talk about. I'm going to focus on a pair in a moment that I'll show you guys that I don't trade a bunch, but when the setup's this good, I'm kind of left without a choice. So I'll show you what that pair is in just a moment. Quick little look here. If you go to Day Traders FX, you'd like a little more information about our live trading group, you can get a 5-day free trial by going to daytradersfx.com and just clicking on the About button up here. That'll take you right to this main page, give you a couple of options there for free trials to our trade group and website and so on. Okay, let's get down to business. There's no major news today. We've already seen it. We had a little bit of UK news and a little bit of Euro speech action, but going into tomorrow we have quite a bit of stuff. New Zealand news and Australia news. Definitely job reports for Australia tomorrow are a pretty big deal. So any Aussie trades that you have going, which we have some going right now, a Euro Aussie trade that's looking amazing, will be affected by that. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so the pair that I want to talk about today is the dollar yen. I like trading the dollar yen about as much as I like getting punched in the face, but sometimes there are fantastic setups that we can't ignore, and the dollar yen is actually one of those right now. As you guys know, I love trading missed pivots. That's one of my favorite things, and you can see that the dollar yen, if we look at it, on this 4-hour chart, we've got a missed weekly pivot from about 2 weeks ago. We've got a missed weekly pivot from about 4 weeks ago. 2 missed weekly pivots is always something that gets my attention. We've got a couple of missed daily pivots as well that have yet to have been hit, and those are definitely getting my attention as well. So all of that stuff is something to keep an eye on. And the other thing that I'm looking at in particular here, if we get a little bit of a zoomed out look on the daily chart, you can see that we're coming up to this high right here, and this is a high from about May of earlier this year. So May of 2013 we had this high, which is about 103.75-ish. We have broken out of this big pattern that we had here. You can see a little bit better on the weekly chart. We had this big triangle that was forming. We broke out of that, and it has basically rallied since. It's just gone straight up. It's made a huge, fantastic movement of about 400 pips. And now it's running into this double top. If we go to a monthly chart, we can see that that is becoming some significant resistance, because it's been some very significant support in the past. Back in 1999, this is a monthly chart zoomed out. In 1999, we had that was a huge bouncing point for the dollar yen, and then once again in 2004, and then again in 2005. And then once we approached it again in 2008, it had a tough time. It got below and back above and really consolidated there. So this 104, kind of 103 to 10400 area is a pretty tough one. You can see that we bounced off at once and we're coming back to it. Now, of course, there's the possibility that we're going to break out of this thing and just run for it and go for it. That's absolutely a possibility. But one thing in particular that I'm loving looking at right now is that the dollar yen has been holding above the 200 moving average. It hasn't touched the 200 moving average since going all the way back to November of 2012, so about 13 months since it's touched that. Which, you know, markets like to touch these moving averages. It kind of evens things out and balances things out, and when they don't touch those moving averages, that's where we start getting into overbought and oversold market conditions. And it's been a very long time since this daily chart has touched that 200 moving average, and it's coming into a nice little double top there. So it may not be the biggest reversal of any of our lifetime, but I think it's going to be a pretty good one, and it's one that we need to be ready to jump into. So one thing that I'm looking at, you can see that we're at about 102.70, so it's about 100 pips off that high. I would be looking to short against that 103.75 and target, you know, probably the 100 area. I think there's a good 300 pips in that move down. Once again, we know that we've got some missed weekly pivots. One's down here about 100.90, and we have another one down here that's at 98.85 or so. So those are pretty significant little moves down. So again, a little press higher, a push into that 103, 50, 75 area. We don't have to perfectly touch it, but we just want to get a little bit closer to that so that we can have some stops above that, so that we don't have to have 100 pip stops. But even if we do, there's a minimum of a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio on this. If we get in with a 100 pip stop and this thing moves 300 pips down like I'm expecting it to do, then I will use 100 pip stop all day long on that. So let's try to get a little bit higher, get it up into the 103, 20, 30 area, and then get some stops above that 103.75, and let's short this thing down to the 100 mark and see where it goes from there. Best of luck, guys. Hope you make some money on this one. I'll keep you updated as we go. Thanks, everyone.